What's up guys, I'm Shane Peterson and this is Off the Rip. We're going to be talking about Seattle Supercross, which was another mud race this Supercross season. I'm tired of the mud. I've been tired of the mud since round 3. A lot of the fans are tired of the mud as well. This Supercross season is a season that has the most stacked riders we have ever seen. So we want to go watch these guys, lay it down on a dry racetrack and not have to do it in the mud. But with that being said, Seattle Supercross was probably one of the best races we've seen this season. Awesome racing between Chase Sexton and Cooper Webb. But before we get into all that, let's break it down here on this episode of Off the Rip. Seattle had some wild moments. The track rutted up quick. There were probably more lines on that racetrack than in Whitney Houston's hotel room. Jordan Smith cased the rhythm so hard, harder than Cooper Webb's forearms in the main event.
Yeah man, arm's about as hard as morning wood right now.
Chase Sexton stalled it twice, once in the heat race, once in the main event. I'm sure all the vet riders were like, he's just like me, he's just like me, because that's what I do. I stall a lot. But anyway, Cooper Webb had the sickest line in the main event. After the sand section, he jumps the wall, just goes yacht and sends it over. Jett makes a rookie mistake in the sand section trying to get around Cooper Webb. Levi Kitchen cooked and won by 20 seconds, something that we have not seen in Supercross in quite a while. So it's safe to say the chef is cooking. All right, so let's move on to some Rocky Mountain fantasy picks. I just keep getting 30 points, just a measly 30. I'm not doing anything better. I'm just a 30-point guy. Now, my ranking, 63,998. Yeah, just killing it, But what gave me those 30 points was that I was relatively close with second and fourth. So let's go through my picks real quick. My picks were Jett Lawrence, Cooper Webb, Eli Tomac, Ken Roczen, and Chase Sexton. The one time that I put Jett to win, he gets third. So I'm sure everybody who put him to win is pretty bummed about that as well. So since Rocky Mountain Fantasy gives you some cash, I wanted to show you guys what I got from using my $18 of RM Fantasy cash. Is the spoke for my rear wheel. My KTM 350 cost me $7. And then I got this chain brush from Motion Pro. I just see some of the mechanics use it. I thought I want to be factory too, so might as well have that in my toolbox. I then got some grips, some of these ODI AMIG lock-on grips. I like these because since I'm a lazy vet rider, it's really easy to change these out. So that's why I like to use them. But if I could have my pick, definitely some Renthals. Those are the move, but I'm not down to get crazy with all that glue and wiring. And then I didn't want to pay for shipping because you need an order of $75 or more. So I said, what can I get for $40? And I was either going to get a jersey, but instead I got this Motion Pro sag scale tool. So along with my chain brush and this, I'm going to be looking way too factory. But no, it's just going to just set my sag just a little bit better than having to use a measuring tape. So we're factory over here now. All right, so let's get into the 450 class. We're just gonna break it down. Cooper Webb, dude, the race that Cooper Webb had in Seattle was just amazing. A lot of people watching are just stoked on it. Cool to see Webb pull off a win, and you can tell he's just hungry. The guy is hungry. He's got that dog in him. I really want him to close down on the points lead. He's 16 down. He's not out of it by any means. We've seen it in past seasons. Anything can happen. But right now, Jett Lawrence is in a managing mode. So with that being said, can Cooper Webb strike while the iron is hot and try to make up points while Jett is just trying to manage? If he makes up X amount of points or gets closer to Jett, will that force Jett into making mistakes because he wants to, control the points lead so much. And just thinking about it, at 19 years old, when you want something really bad, you want to do as much as you can to keep it, versus Cooper Webb, he's in this state of mind where he's like, I'm all out. It doesn't matter what happens. I'm going for it type of thing. So it's going to be pretty cool to watch Cooper Webb attack Jett Lawrence, go after Jett Lawrence, try to cut down that points lead. He's very good on the mental side, but don't leave Jett Lawrence out of it. Yes, he's only 19, but he went 22-0 in motocross. He managed that championship. He managed not buckling to the pressure of a perfect season. So he's very capable of being able to manage this championship, but Supercross is different. Mistakes can happen, and mistakes are more costly here in Supercross. So can Webb mess with Jett's mental, close the gap a little bit? We'll see. Also, who's not out of it, but he needs a miracle, is Chase Sexton. He's 23 points down right now. We saw a miracle happen for Chase Sexton last year with Eli Tomac rupturing his Achilles and Webb having a concussion. So the championship was pretty much handed to Sexton last year. So I'm not sure if he has that luck on his side this year, but both Sexton and Webb have stepped up these past races. So right now, they definitely need to strike while Jett's just in management mode. So there is another Triple Crown in St. Louis next weekend. So the question is Jett Lawrence gonna push, or is he just gonna manage? Last Triple Crown, he went 3 for 3 in those main events. He won, extended his points lead. Is that what he's gonna do in St. Louis, or will he just manage? One thing that can happen at the Triple Crown is that it's 3 times more room for error, because on the start, somebody can run into his rear wheel. He can have a bike malfunction. Just like Webb, when he ran into Cade Clayson in Indianapolis, that can happen to Lawrence as well. So it just creates more of a chance of error and chaos to happen while racing. So this Triple Crown is going to be really interesting to watch. So let's move on to the 250 West Coast. Big win for Levi Kitchen, not only for points, but he also won by 20 seconds, which is crazy. He now goes into St. Louis with an 8-point lead over RJ Hampshire. The thing about Levi Kitchen is that he's been on the podium every single race this season except for San Diego, where he finished 5th. For the 250 West Coast, there's 3 races left this season. So based on his results, he's definitely on par to becoming the 250 West Coast champion. This would be a huge win for Pro Circuit, since they haven't won a championship since Outdoors in 2019 with Adam Cincerillo, and a Supercross championship since 2017 with Justin Hill. And he was criticized for leaving Star Racing Yamaha, which some would say is the best 250 race team. So this could possibly be the best decision for Kitchen and Pro Circuit. Moving on to RJ Hampshire, if he's going to want to win this championship, he's going to have to step it up and really work for it, since Levi Kitchen is so consistent. He's the most consistent between RJ Hampshire and Jordan Smith, those 3 riders. Next weekend, like I said, Triple Crown, anything can happen. Danger can strike for Kitchen, bike malfunction, throw it away, bad start, whatever it is. But RJ Hampshire has to be there to strike. He has to be consistent every single race, which is very hard for RJ Hampshire to do. He just has these silly mistakes that happen that he throws away a win or a podium. So he has to clean those up. For Jordan Smith, tough break for him. He's just had way too many mistakes like this season. This one cost him big time. He came up short in that rhythm, then he went down a couple more times. These mistakes are not only hurting him physically, but mentally as well, because now he can just see the championship slipping through his fingers by these mistakes. So he might be out of it, who knows. Triple Crown, like I said, next weekend can work out for him. He can turn it around. Kitchen, Hampshire might go wrong for him, who knows. 450 class, it's going to be interesting to watch in that Triple Crown. So I'll be back over here on Off the Rip to talk about St. Louis. Peace.